What's up, everybody? It's Henry again from the PSI Defense channel, and I am coming to you with a very special video. I started the PSI Defense channel just to share my experience with less lethal self-defense options and my journey on how to modify and maintain, fix issues and problems, because I learned a lot of what I know through trial and error and through a lot of digging, so I wanted to share that with anybody else in a similar situation as mine. So the channel's got a lot of fans, and a lot of people have been helped by my videos, and they follow my channel, and I'm very grateful for that, especially for the trust that they give me, because one of my fans, who I would give you a very big shout out, but he asked me to keep him nameless, sent me this, his brand new less lethal marker, and what we're going to do is a few videos on it. Tonight is the unboxing and my first impressions. Then I'll be doing some testing and trying to see if there's anything that I can put my spin on to modify it and make it any better for my friend and my #1 fan. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, here we go, guys. Sorry for the weird camera angle, but as you can see, it's a massive box. Had to put it on my floor, and I had to rig up my TV tray with my tripod to set this up for you guys. But got me a little unboxing knife. Here we go. I'm very excited to get my hands on one of these. Even though it's not mine, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun testing this out. Seeing if height matches reality. Very cool of this dude to let me be the first one to put my hands on his marker and to actually do the unboxing. I think that's very huge of him. Alright. This is the case. Pretty impressed so far. Alright, guys. This is a very high quality case. Has locking holes on both sides. Plenty of snaps. Does not feel cheap at all. And there it goes. Boom. That's right, guys. Pepperball VKS launcher. Look at this. Comes with 2 gigantic mags. It's a really good foam to hold everything in place. I'm not sure, I think these are 20 rounders. And I believe, see, in an earlier model, you used to be able to, First Strike, not First Strike, but an earlier Tiberius model. See what this is actually the Tiberius T4.1. And with earlier models, they had 12 gram CO2s you would put in here, but for now, you can store Pepperballs or Grimburgs or whatever you wanted to put in there. Batteries for optics. So that's what that slides for. Your ammo goes here. It fits round balls, 68 caliber round balls, shaped projectors like Grimburgs. I assume the Canada Rye balls would fit fine. And you can also use the Pepperball proprietary ammo, either their round balls or their live VX rounds. Alright, comes with a hopper adapter. Alright, standard stuff. And goodness gracious, when you get a load of this, oh, absolutely beautiful. Here's a charging handle. show exactly how that works. These are flip-up sights. They're spring-loaded, but I don't know, fully adjustable iron sights. They're composite, but they're very high quality handguard. And what I like about this, it's got a black handle. These are just handguard covers. You can put whatever color on there you want. I've got some tan ones for my M17, and you can replace this with any color buttstock you want. Oh, right, to take it off, you have to pull it this way. Appears to be a 13 CI tank, and that looks exactly like a Hero regulator. So what I might do for my guy is add some shims to that. I'll open it up, see if it's a Hero regulator. I can boost the output pressure for him, because I know that with these Pepperball launchers, the difference between them and the difference between Pepperball launchers and First Strike or Tiberius launchers. First Strike and Tiberius launchers are capable of shooting high FPS, but they're designed for paintball. What Pepperball does, which is a division of First Strike, they went and solved some of the issues that cause problems at high FPS. Stuff like the heat core O-rings. I don't know about the springs, which I found out in some of my videos. The springs, when you strengthen them up, they're more reliable. But this appears to be, yeah, that appears to be our good old friend, the FSC T8.1, T9.1 regulator right there. If that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and mod that up for him. Do all the spring modifications. Let's see the bolt through there. See what this guy looks like with a mag install. Wow. Very comfortable. It's primarily for right-handers, so it's not, that's your safety, safe and semi-auto. Your mag release is right here. It's not ambidextrous either, but it's designed for right hands. I believe you can remove this and switch it around, or they may have other mag wells. But yeah, that's the unboxing, and my first impressions are this thing is awesome. VKS stands for Variable Kinetic Launcher. Uh-oh. All right. Look at that. It's got metal detents. Pepperball is really good for that. It is a rifled barrel with this great flash hider on the end. That was, I'm not sure about barrel options, but from what I understand, the barrel is not a weak point of this launcher. All right. Now let's just take that out. Here we go. Okay, so you have these marks. That is, okay, so that's hopper. So you would have to put the hopper adapter. You'd remove this plate, put the hopper adapter right there. Then you can run a hopper. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. I guess police may want to roll with 200 Pepperball rounds. And then if you go to the shaped projectile, you can have a magazine of shaped projectiles. So you can roll with the hopper on there, have about 200 joules, and then have 20 either Grimburgs or VX live rounds in here. and then be ready for whatever. Man, this is so awesome. Can't wait to get this, dump some rounds into my trap. I'm gonna fill this bottle up tomorrow. All right, let's see how many JUL version 2s I can fit in one of these VKS mags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, 15. So VKS comes with 2 of these big orange banana mags. They're not curved like bananas, but as you can see, they're very yellow. 15 round mags. Comes with 2 of them, so you'll have 30 rounds on deck. As I said before, you can unscrew this. You can either put some pepper rounds in there, just put a whole bunch of spare JULs or whatever. You put CO2s if you got a FSE or TCP firearm, sidearm that you're carrying. Yeah, very well built. I mean, looks like when you're out of ammo, you can take one of these out and just club somebody over the head with it. It's not heavy, but very well made. One of the weak points was addressed because these ends on First Strike mags, or the Tiberius T8.1, T9.1 mags, these ends tend to fall off. That's a very new design, very much on there. Still has the center spring, but I mean, it's very positive. The spring is a lot better than the ones that we had for the mag detent, and the spring for inserting the rounds was very positive pressure the entire way. It didn't really, it was very consistent pressure, I should say, which should lead to some great feeding. All right, there we go. It's a heavy duty cap. Really makes me wonder why it's so beefy, but it's on there. And for VKS purposes, that's just spare storage. Okay, and VKS comes with this little packet. Comes with a barrel squeegee, of course, because if you use pepper rounds, they're subject to chop. So if it does chop, there's a possibility that you could render yourself incapacitated by the marker, because all the pepper is going to explode in your face and you will be inhaling some of that. So after the altercation is done, you still have your VKS, you bring it home, you use this barrel squeegee to get it out the barrel, you open it up and clean it out of everything, and you cry because your eyes are burning. All right? Comes with Allen keys for adjustment, and from the look of these, it is a standard First Strike regulator because you have your velocity adjustment, you have your pressure relief valve adjustment, and this is probably for body screws. This looks like their heat core O-ring, perhaps. I don't know, very hard. It might actually, yeah. I'm sure that will be an instruction booklet, but it's either, it doesn't really seem like a heat core O-ring, seems more like a tank O-ring. And owner's manual. Definitely gonna read this all the way through before I start going in. That is the goodie bag. So, use pepper rounds at your own risk, knowing that if they chop in your marker when you're trying to shoot it at somebody, you will potentially incapacitate yourself and you'll have a big hot eye burning mess to clean out of your marker. Stick with Grimburgs or some kind of kinetic round, because this thing's going to put out enough power to lay somebody down on the ground. One of the big draws of less lethal is that you're not necessarily taking someone's life, injuring them and their family, but you're potentially just incapacitating them. And with these less lethal markers, the way we have them set up, they will need medical attention and regret what they try to do to you. I think this would be an excellent home self-defense machine. As I said before, they have a ton of options for different shoulder stocks, different colors. If you're not going to carry this around, I say if you open carry this, I would definitely leave it yellow, because law enforcement officers would be more likely to know what you're carrying and not harass you and violate your rights and disarm you without cause, because they will do that. Not to say all of them will, but I've seen plenty of videos where they just come up to you and weapons drawn, and it's a big old confrontation when you have the legal right to do so. But this day and age, the guide bar is really great. You see it's not falling down. Has a little resistance there. Actually has a little rubber pad. And I want to take this tank off. This tank seems to be very well made. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I think it is. I think it's a first strike. Oh, it's a little bit bigger than 13 CI. It outputs 3,000 PSI, but it's bigger. It's a 13 CI, and it's got to be 15, but a 3,000. That's awesome. But as you can see, this regulator almost certainly is a First Strike Hero regulator. Now, I did replace this burst disc, but other than that, it is absolutely identical, with the exception of the First Strike logo and that model number or serial number. Not sure what that is, but those are the only differences. Everything else looks absolutely identical, which I'm hoping it is, because if that's the case, I'll be able to go inside and shim this for more output pressure. I've got a tester, so I'm going to fill this up with some air, test the output pressure, and raise it up. I don't go crazy with these. Typically, output pressure of your tanks when you get them are between 800 psi and 850 psi. I stick underneath 1,000. Some people do 1,100 psi, but I don't want to damage anything, so I just go with 950 to get a little bit more boost. These things are already plenty powerful. I'm gonna get into this, and I'm assuming it has a metal bolt. This definitely looks like the regular First Strike regulator. There's the velocity adjustment there. This thing is awesome. Very well made. The body feels to be aluminum and has some very strong composite parts. Aluminum handguard, full rail handguard, and you've got the nut to be able to use any kind of AR style handguard, AR style grips, although this hand grip feels amazing. It's ready to go. Very ergonomic, very grippy. Definitely doesn't put you in the mind of a paintball game. Yeah, this is the real deal, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research to see how to operate this. Stay tuned. All right, so here it goes, guys. This was originally the Tiberius T4.1. Definitely see why this was beloved and why law enforcement jumped all over this for less lethal use. I will say that the iron sights, I mean, it's a good sight picture, but without risers, it's very hard. You have to put your cheek right on there to get the sight picture. So, I mean, you've got rails on not only the handguard, but all the way across the top of the body. It's aluminum. Put a number of risers, optical sights, lasers, tack lights, really whatever you want. Sky's the limit. This thing is really built durable. Looks like it can take a beating. Looks like it can dish out a beating. I am super excited to get this thing gassed up. Test fire some Grimburgs through this. So actually, got about 2,000 PSI in my first strike tank. And this tank is, as you see, it's my first strike tank. It's outputting just over 900 PSI. Not quite 925, maybe about 910. So I'm gonna see what the VKS does right out of the box. I'm loaded with 10 JUL V2s. The tank is screwed in, so it's not aired up. This is how you air it up. You just push this forward. Or you, let's see, yeah, you push that, depress that, you push that forward. There was the click, and then to degas it, there you go. Now that marker's not aired up, but you pull this little thing back, forward click, best on and off I've seen. Got safety. Hopefully these iron sights are sighted right. I hate to put a hole in my garage door. But here we go. Very low power. 101 PSI with a 90 gram JUL. So, let's crank up the velocity screw. Yeah, it seems very loose. Not a lot of tension there. Yeah, my PSI gauge barely budged. Of course, it was only one shot. I'm basically giving this thing a whole lot of cranks until I feel some tension. And I looked inside of there. There is no pressure relief valve, so to speak, on the inside of this. All right, now let's give it a couple more. I feel like that needs compress quite a bit more. And the way it's set in there, you can only do quarter turns at a time. So I did a whole bunch of turns. Let's see what we got. That's more like it. 311. I'm sure there's plenty more to go. Let me get it to 40 joules. Yeah, still didn't need too much more gas. So that's half a turn. All right, now the regulator screw's gonna come up tight. Baby. 363. 369. I still got 2,000 PSI. That was 223. 262. 333, 326, 282, 373, okay, gonna need some more air tomorrow because I am out of air, and very impressive initial results. So can't wait to get into it. Looks like it's a very simple teardown. There's a hinge here. I'm assuming this pin here does something. It probably goes forward. Yeah, I don't see a lot of bolts for the teardown, but yeah, this thing is a winner. Looks like it's ready to go. And stay tuned for another video. If you can't wait to see some more of this, like and subscribe. Definitely gonna put this through the paces and send it back to my man, the best VKS out there that I can make it. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, each other. Like, subscribe, share the video. Thank you everyone for your support.